Alrighty, I think we are live. I am gonna wait around here a second to see if anyone is coming in. Make sure it is working properly. Yes, Coin Intelligence said, "Sup? How's it going?" All right, so we are live. So everyone, tell me as you're coming in, how is the stream and the audio? If you could tell me, that would be much appreciated. Oh yeah, we got lots of people coming in right now. 39 people already. It's all good. Thank you, Coin Intelligence, for that. Alrighty. So I'm a little like I'm not like in the zone for a live stream, but I guess I don't really know what it would mean to be in the zone. So feeling a little bit sleepy, but I'll probably wake up as the stream goes. I don't know if it's normal for any of you out there that do live streams. It's like before I start a live stream, I'm always really apprehensive about it. It's got to like check 1,000 different things. It's just, I guess, a weird concept being live. But it seems like this time it was easier than the last time. It took forever for me to get started with the live streams. So, all right, we got a lot of people in here already. I guess everybody's getting the notifications for sure. Because when I did the first live stream, we didn't have a whole lot of people in here. But super chat, appreciate that, Rob. Thanks a lot. Oh yeah, so if you can see right here, all those sticky notes. Those are all the names of the people that did a $5 or greater super chat on the last live stream, and I will be showing that like in an actual video because you can't really read them from here. But I got my sticky notes, and the stream's lagging a little bit on my end. Is anybody else getting a little bit of lag? I'm getting a little bit of lag on my end, but I'm not sure if you all are. Yeah, Rob said small lag. Somebody else said no lag. I don't know. Let's see. Does anybody know of anything that I can do if there's just a little bit of lag? Because I notice like when I move my head, it's like moving in kind of blocky sort of frames. My Wi-Fi signal is very strong. I don't know if there's another issue or something else. Somebody said, does the description really say liver stream? I thought I corrected that. That's funny. There's like two different live stream screens. There's one for YouTube, and then there's like a separate one that you set up under your camera. So I figured out I had slow chat set up before on the last stream. Everybody's laughing at that. So I had the live stream set up on the main YouTube stream, but it takes all different information when you go under the camera setting for the live stream. So apparently it's not using any of my settings on YouTube, which is really weird. So I don't know how to turn on slow chat. But I don't know how to change the title on the chat that I'm doing through what I have here now. Like you can set it all up before you hit live, but I don't know if I'll be able to change it till it posts to YouTube. So I guess it's going to be a liver chat. Guess we're going to talk about my liver. No, we're not really going to. Okay, I think the lag, I'm bobbing my head. The lag, I think, is gone. Okay, so it probably just took a few minutes for the connection to get really good. If you click on the beginning of the last live stream, it's 4 hours on, but like 5 seconds in, the screen does this really weird melt thing where like everything on the screen just like looks like it's melding toward the bottom. Like a couple people thought I was messing around with special effects or something. It's really weird. Okay, so let's just look at the chat here a second before I get into a lot of it. We got 101 people in here already, which is more than we had in here last time. Like I think like the entire time. So yeah, I think the lag's gone. If it's a little bit, there's not anything I can really do about it. Just talk slow and boom, fixed. There you go. if I talk really slow, then everybody will think they're a lag. I won't do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into, first of all, I'll finish up with the update on that. Everybody that did a $5 or greater super chat in the last one got a sticky note here. Now I'm going to be doing it live from now on because I have my sticky note pad here with me, and I got like 4 different colors of ink that I'm alternating. And I don't know if other people donate more than once, maybe I'll put a little ×2 or ×3 up on your sticky note in black so it's easier to see or something, because I'm using all like more vibrant colors. So if anybody does a super chat of $5 and more, you'll end up back there on the wall. Also, that's part of the big announcement here. I finally did it. I opened a P.O. box. I live extremely close to the post office now, so I can get packages that come in almost every day. So look at the description below. It should say the P.O. box information down there. But anyway, if you can't see it, you can send it to JDVC, which is short for JD's Variety Channel. And then it's P.O. Box. Let me make sure I remember this correctly. I had my receipt here because I just opened it today. I'm almost certain it's P.O. Box 3252, 3252. And that's Blountville, Blountville, Tennessee, zip code 37617. So you guys can send me anything now. What I'll probably try to do is save the packages and open them on live stream. Maybe I'll do a normal video. Maybe I'll open them all and just, I don't know. Some people don't want you to show what it is. You have to put a note in there, like if you would like me to show it, like on the channel or not. Make sure you put a note in there. Like if you write something, make sure you say whether you want me to read it to my audience or if it's private. I may do some of the openings on the secondary channel, which is JD Uncensored, JD space Uncensored. So either way, I'll do it on a video so people can see. Looks like the lag's back here a little bit. But we just got a super chat from Billy Milliken. I hope I pronounced that right. $5. Okay, so I didn't. I know Rob's name is up there from before, so we're not going to do double sticky notes right now. Yeah, I can see Rob Finds Treasure up there, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put Billy's name down here, and we're gonna stick it up there right now. Rob said, "Double me up, JD." There you go. I don't have my black Sharpie on me, but we'll do it next time. I'll give you a big ×2 or ×3 or whatever for whoever donates more than once. So what color are we on? Alternating. We're on purple. So Billy gets his name in purple. Billy. Milliken. All right. So we got that here. I'm going to go stick his name up there. There you go. Oh, sorry for bumping that. Well, at least it's not pink. I got pink. It's coming. But blue's next. Next person gets blue. Right now we're alternating between orange, purple, blue, and pink. So, yeah, a little vibrant on the colors there. Anybody have any ideas on how to reduce the lag? Because there was no lag last time. It's kind of going in and out, but once in a while I get a little bit of I can tell the frame sticking on my end. So if anybody has any ideas on how I can combat that, let me know. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it. It is off of Wi-Fi. It's not a direct connection, but I have a really good router that I paid like $100 for. So I've got full bars. So Billy said, LOL, I'm colorblind anyway. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, somebody said I moved out of Knoxville area. Yes, I did. When I moved into the farmhouse late last summer, I moved further northeast. Rob said, "Let's wallpaper his room with stickies." Man, there's a lot of comments coming in. I can't keep up with all of them, but thank you for everyone who's. Let's see. The lag is not bad enough to matter, so you should not worry about it. Okay, I'll just pretend that it's not happening. Okay. Alrighty. RJ32, $4.99 super chat. Love your channel, bro. Hit me up and we can put together a collab video. I will do that. Stay tuned here for a second. I'm going to be giving out some information for people who want to contact me. Did you do a super chat last time? I can't remember. I know you popped in. You didn't, so you're going to get one. Hey, Plugmaster Ford. We got Jeff in the house. All right. I gotta catch up. I gotta do these sticky notes before I forget real quick. So RJ32, $4.99. That's close enough. Unless you did that purposely so you don't get a sticky note. I don't know. I'll just give you one, and if you don't want it there, I'll rip it off my wall. Open up the space for other people so I can monetize better. You know, got to clear out some space. Once in a while, we just got to get some people off the wall. I'm just kidding. So let's go ahead and do that. RJ32. Okay. I'm going to write the other one out while I'm down here so I don't have to get up again. Lazy old man. Oh, man. Plugmaster Ford, buddy. You got pink. You got pinked. Sorry about that. Let's see. Plug. Oh. Uh-oh. I did the L in caps lock, so we're just going to have to go for it. I'm going to have to scream your name out here. It's all going to have to be caps now. I got OCD real bad. You can't do two caps. You can't do two uppercase letters and the rest lowercase. It's just horrible. So you got bold text for free, no extra charge. Alrighty. Just so you guys know, I'm terrible at following the chat on this. My brain doesn't work that fast, so I'll try to get to as much as I can. Here we go. You have now been stickified and mystified. Let's see what's going on. Okay, before I get into the chat here a little bit more, with that mention of collaborations, let's make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, I didn't miss any super chats. Okay, I'm caught up. So I set up, well, it's an older one that I had, but I wasn't using it because I had a lot of stuff going on. But I have an email set up for people to send me emails who want to possibly meet up with me. And if you want to invite me, on a hunt or just anything, if you want to talk or give me some ideas of like with an invite or like if you have anything, really the only thing I'm going to say for this email is I'm not. Okay, I'll get to that super chat in a second. That's pretty funny. I don't want to use the email for questions because if I say that it's open for questions, then I'm going to get bombarded with so many emails and I can't humanly get to all of them. So I just kindly ask that you don't use this email address just to ask me questions. I'm going to try to do that the best that I can on the channel and with the live stream. So this email is going to mainly be for like for companies to send or individuals who want to send like business ideas or anything like that, and also for like invites and stuff like that, so I can coordinate with people and things like that. So I just kindly ask that you don't use that email to just send me tons of questions, because if I open it up to questions, I'm going to get hundreds of emails, and there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with them. I am able to travel a whole lot more now. And now that you can see the PO box and people know the general area that I live in, you'll know how close you are to me. But I will travel anywhere, if the timing's right and anything. So if you're 10 hours away from me and you want to give me an invite, I still may be able to make it out to you. I'm starting to plan some things now, and I got some cool hunts coming up I'm going to post. Plugmaster Ford, he sent another $5 super chat, and he said, not pink this time. Problem with that is I ain't doing double stickies. I ain't doing double stickies right now because that wouldn't be fair to everyone else. So what I'll do is when I get my black Sharpie, you'll get a little ×2 in black. But hey, black and pink, that's like cool. That's like contrast. It's like I like black and pink. It's got a lot going on. So there it goes. So I will give you ×2 on the next one because I already told some other people did twice, like between last stream and now, and they'll get another sticky. So I can't give you special treatment. Okay, so the email address is jdsvarietychannel@gmail.com. Just very simple. My channel name, which is plural, jdsvarietychannel@gmail.com. I'm going to try to use that to keep all the invites and stuff like that in order, so they don't get, like, when people contact me through Facebook, I get like 5 million messages and it gets all confusing. I personally hate Facebook. I just like avoid it. So I'm really bad at responding to stuff on Facebook. So if you want to invite me to hunt with you, use that email address. And I recommend that if I don't already know who you are, put a lot of information, like why you want to take me there, that you have permission to be there, like who you are, like all this stuff. Like the more information, the better. Like if somebody just sends me an email that says, hey, I want to invite you to come up and hunt with me, and that's all the email says, I'm probably not going to respond to it because I at least have to have some concrete information to go off of to be able to tell that it's legitimate, because on the internet, you have to be careful, and there are a lot of trolls out there, and I need more information to be able to tell, whether it's legitimate or not. Okay, so we got a super chat here from Mega Plicker. If you ever make it up to Upper New York, you got a friend. My family has a cottage on a beautiful lake, and you're welcome to stay a weekend. I really appreciate that. Now, I'll just tell you right off the bat, those are the type of invites that I really appreciate, and they're more possible to make happen because I'm one person. I'm traveling solo. So when somebody is able to offer a place for me to stay, that's just another layer off of my trip that I don't have to worry about coordinating. So that I really appreciate an invite, and that's something I may take you up on. I want to meet up with some of my subscribers. That's something I'd really like to do as I can get out and travel more. So anyway, we're on orange. So Mega Plicker gets an orange sticky. Mega, I think that says Plicker. Yeah, Plicker. Mega Plicker gets a mega sticker. I know, my puns are terrible. Okay, I need a drink. I know I'm trying not to keep worrying about it, but tell me how the lag is right now, because it's going in and out on my end. It seems good right at the moment. I got to shake my head to figure it out. So, I have something. Okay, this is actually really funny. Okay, so that last live stream went 4 hours, right? Okay, it went over 4 hours. It was like 4 hours and 12 minutes. It was like a marathon for my first live stream. And this is really funny. Somebody pointed this out after the video posted to YouTube. It shows how long ago your live stream was after you posted it. So jokingly, because I'm real goofy all the time, I titled the video, I titled it, Didn't Pee for 4 Hours, right? Just to have a goofy title because it's a live stream. I'm not caring if people click on it or not. Live streams are not something that all your subscribers find unless you're like signed up for notifications or you physically click onto the channel. You probably, like the last live stream, apart from the people that were involved with it live, it got like 3,500 views after it was posted. So live streams, I mean, they just don't get as many views. That's just kind of how it's set up. So I just goofy. I just titled it "Didn't Pee for 4 hours," and then right after that, so it says "Didn't pee for 4 hours." Streamed or live stream or streamed live. So if you look, I didn't add where it says, or it said streamed 1 hour ago. So I don't know if anybody thought that I like went pee live. I hope not. I hope everybody knew what that meant. But it said didn't pee for 4 hours, streamed 1 hour ago. So I thought that was pretty funny. Somebody pointed that out. So I added live stream into the title to make it even more goofy. So let me try to just grab a few questions here real quick. Okay, everything looks okay. Gone Hunting for History said fixing to head to an 1830 to 50s military count. Found lots of dragoons and greatcoat buttons. Waiting on water bottles to freeze before I leave. It's 100 today. Well, yeah, stay safe out there. It hasn't been quite that hot here. We've had some temperatures up in the 90s, and the humidity is just was really doing me in. One of the updates is not so good is my car finally like broke down. There's a lot of different things I got to do to it. So I'm in between trying to figure out if I want to repair it or if I want to get something new. Excuse me. I've already started shopping within the last few months for a a newer used vehicle, one that's like a year or two old. I didn't pull the trigger on buying another vehicle, and now mine broke down. So I knew I was kind of pushing my luck. I've owned it for, oh my gosh, for 13 years. I've owned the same vehicle, a 2003 Kia Optima, and one of the vehicles I'm looking at, I'll leave that a secret. The one that I want to buy, it's a model that's only been out. This is the second year now, so there's not a lot of used ones at good deals on the market yet. So I was kind of waiting to see, and yeah. So now I have to figure out if I want to just buy something else or if I want to put some money into fixing my vehicle. Need a lot of random little stuff. I need new tires on it. I need a adjustment with my my brake lights are messed up. And now I don't know if a hose blew or something, but it sprayed when I was on a trip. I met up with Vic Tucker recently, just 2 days ago, doing a hunt in Virginia. And while we were out driving around, my smoke started coming out of the engine bay, and something it like squirted antifreeze all over my engine bay. So I'm not sure if it was just a hose that blew or what yet, but my battery light was on, and they ran a test at an auto shop because that's kind of where I pulled off, and they said my alternator was bad. So I need all kinds of stuff with my vehicle. So I'm thinking this might be the time to just scrap it and start fresh rather than trying to put like almost $1,000 into reviving this vehicle. Because knowing me, what'll happen is I'll put $1,000 into it, and then the transmission will go like the next month or something. So I don't know if I want to take that risk because it ain't really worth more than $1,000, $1,500. So if I put a grand into it and then the transmission goes, I mean, that would kind of be a waste because it's a little bit finicky. It has over the years, but it's been finicky. So let's get back into the comments here. Let's see. Let's see. Sheila said, sounds like a hole in the radiator. I don't know a whole lot of vehicles, so I'm not really even going to comment a lot about it. You need a stealth van. I need anything other than I currently have. I'm thinking about getting a crossover SUV where it still has decent gas mileage, but it's not like I'm driving something huge around. I don't like driving around really large vehicles, especially because I travel a lot. Um, so I'm looking at some of the crossover SUVs. I like some of them that are still going to get close to 30 miles to the gallon, but it's not going to be like a van or a full size truck or something. And it'll still be, decent for throwing all my gear and stuff. Uh, go to Europe and dig. I would like to, I would really like to spend some time over in Europe. Like if I went, I'd want to spend like a week or two there. I wouldn't want to make it a short trip. Um, but for me, it's just finding the time is difficult to do the extended trips because I work for myself and YouTube is just part of that. But someday maybe I'll just pack it all up and just go and do like a world tour or something and say forget about my business and just shut it all down and just travel. Probably will do that at some point. um, let's see, what year is the car that you have? It's a 2003 and I bought it when it was very newish. So if I had it for 13 years and it's a 2003, I bought it when it was only a few years old. But within those few years, it already had like 40,000 miles on it in 3 years when I bought it. Yeah, something like that. Get a BMW. They look nice, and the felt chairs are sweet. Uh, Probably won't, but hey, I mean, there's just so many options up there. Um, I'm leaning toward. Okay, we'll keep it a secret. You guys are trying to pry it out of me. JD, what machines are you using? I'm assuming you meant metal detectors. I'm using predominantly the Technetics T2 right now for scouting and tot lots, and just stuff like that. And even when I'm on a good permission that's loaded, I'll clean it out with a lighter detector first. I still like my Fisher F44. I don't use it all the time, but it has specific uses for, like I said, for scouting, tot lots, and like maybe the first time over permission if it's really good and I'm hunting it solo. I'll start with the Fisher F44 and then go to a better machine as I clear it out more. So I'm using a Technetics T2 of Fisher F44. So you can see the box up there. I just got a XP Deus with the 11-inch coil. I haven't posted yet, but I did use it in a hunt in a playground just to test it out and get used to the coin signals. I know the XP Deus has a pretty steep learning curve compared to most detectors, and surprisingly, I actually am not a fan of the menus. I think it's more confusing than it could have been. So I've been neglecting to try and learn it at the moment, but I will be. I just haven't gotten around to doing more hunting with it yet. I bought it more for long hunts and like big open field hunts because it's lightweight, and I know it's really powerful too. So I probably won't use it. I thought I was going to use it for like the little home permissions that I use and stuff like too, but I'm so honed into the Technetics T2, I'm having a hard time switching over to the Deus for that. So I may use just keep the Deus for like farm fields and open spaces and stuff like that while I learn it, so I can get used to everything. And that way, I don't mind digging big iron out in a farm field because it can be interesting stuff like horseshoes and Civil War artillery shells and all kinds of stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to use that for. Those are my three main metal detectors right now. Going to be doing some more underwater hunting. So I have an Excalibur 2 that I have to get a battery pack for. But I do also have a White's MX Sport, which is waterproof. So I may use that a little bit more. I haven't tested the difference between them in weight yet, but the MX Sport is a little heavy and harder, pretty difficult to swing underwater. So I may do what some people do underwater, which is they shorten the shaft down to the point where the coil's almost under handle, so you can kind of search with it without putting all the strain on your upper body. I may have to customize one like that. But yeah, that's kind of roughly what I've been using at the moment. That was a long answer. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Oh, we got 124 people in here. That is more than there was last time. Last time it stayed around like 80 people roughly. And the chat's just going too fast for me to keep up with, but I'm trying. Oh, yeah, everybody keeps saying liver stream. I mean, sometimes a typo makes, people more interactive. Maybe I'll like mess around with the errors in the titles and people correct it, get people interactive. No, I don't do that on purpose. And once in a while, just to be funny. Are you a late owl? Sheila said that. I guess you meant a night owl, and if that's what you meant, absolutely positively, I have a hard time going to bed before midnight. And it's not uncommon for me to be up till 2 to 3 in the morning, and then get up around 10-ish, unless I have to be somewhere, obviously. I just, no matter how hard I try, I can't stay on a regular schedule of getting in bed earlier. I've tried many times. I have been unsuccessful at doing that. I want to try and do that once I get my schedule more fine-tuned now that things are slowing down for me, because I know you can be really productive in the mornings, and it's nice to see the sunrise and get a different perspective on life, but it's just tricky for me to stay on a schedule. I'd love to go to bed at like 10, get up at like 6 o'clock or something, but I do it once in a while, but I have a hard time doing it on a regular basis. Let's see what else everybody's saying here. I can watch a liver stream, just don't think I would like watching a live stream. Do you have to ground balance the MX Sport I purchased on it? Says everything is down about a foot. I don't actually know. It's been a while since I used it, and I don't remember ground balancing it when I did. So I can't answer that right now. I'm not certain. I haven't used it a whole lot. I didn't use it as much as I thought I would be, just because it is fairly heavy. And with the whites detectors, it's a little bit difficult to get used to the size of the targets. It's hard to explain from the way the tone hits. I don't know if you can adjust the settings any, but I had a hard time distinguishing the size of the targets, which for someone who coin shoots can be pretty frustrating, because I'm trying to distinguish whether a target is like the size of a dime or a penny, or whether it's a can. And I had a little bit of difficulty doing that. I'm not saying it's a problem with the detector. Maybe I just needed to, fine tune it a little better and learn it more. Let's see. Little Dixie Diggin said, JD, what is your oldest silver coin? Now, the interesting thing about that is I've finally found a few really old copper coins. I found some really old foreign coins from all over the world, from like the 1860s and some even back to like the late 1600s, but I just can't find any like super old silver. I don't know what it is. And all the Civil War sites I've ever metal detected, I've never found like a coin that a soldier dropped. Like, it's funny at those sites that if I do find a coin, I'll be like finding Civil War bullets in wheat pennies. Like, I just never seem to find the Civil War period coins, except for I found an 1864 Indian head this year. But for silver, my oldest silver coin still is an 1876 seeded dime. I found 5 seeded dimes, and they all range from 1876 to 1891, which is the last year. So they're all in that kind of newer range of the seeded coins. Found it buried, says favorite map site, JD. I would have to definitely say historicaerials.com, bar none, especially because I'm more of a coin shooter. Most of the maps in my area don't go pre-1935, but that's generally old enough to be able to look for places that were still standing in 1935, which is good enough in my book. There's not a lot of, it's not predominantly, there are colonial areas around me, but I'm not predominantly a colonial hunter. So I don't have to try to find maps that get back into like the colonial times. So when I'm scouting and looking for public places in old neighborhoods and areas that I think might be under the radar where people haven't looked, I got something fuzzy in my nose. I'll use historic aerials to do a lot of scouting with that. I really like using it. I've gotten pretty good at using that over the years. I actually hated when they changed to the new layout. The old one I thought worked perfectly fine, but hey, everything changes these days. What are you going to do about it? But yeah, that's kind of my go-to for planning on the fly. Not in depth, obviously. It's not the greatest research for in depth, but I use it for maps a lot. Probably the place I use the most. Somebody said, why don't you collab with Awkward Sugar? I could reach out to him. I just haven't done that yet. I did talk to him actually a long while back when I was busier, and I believe we briefly might have talked about that, but it wasn't anything concrete at the time. But now life's slowing down for me, and I actually live a little bit closer to Bo now. I can't remember exactly where he lives, but and for his privacy, I won't say. But he's closer to me now than he was previously. I don't think it would be more than I don't know. I don't think it would be too much more than if I went directly to where he lives. I don't know exactly where he lives, but I couldn't see it being longer than 6 to 7 hours. So it's possible that we can meet up. I'll just have to reach out to him and potentially do that sometime. Just kind of following up with the current things I have going on now before I start trying to get into collaborations and things like that, or other ones, I should say. Vic's in the house. He said, yeah, I saw your text earlier. What's wrong with the Optima? I didn't get it towed to a shop yet. I just brought it back to my place, so I'm not certain yet. I gotta let it coast down the hill to an auto shop here, probably tomorrow. I just didn't feel like dealing with it yesterday and today. I've just been kind of catching up and chilling out and just didn't do anything yet. So I don't know exactly what the problem is with it yet, but it's one of many mounting problems. Let's just put it that way. Ron Just Digging Life said, hey, JD, great to see you. Good to see you too. Let's see. 76 likes, 20 more for 100. Thanks, Rob, for pointing that out and getting everyone hyped up. Smash that like button or else. Let's see. JD, look up Tar Heel Digging, Matt Purdue. He lives in Georgia. I don't have to look up Matt. I've known Matt for like 4 years. We haven't met up in person yet, but I mean, man, we used to comment on each other's videos at least 4 years ago. I've known him for almost as long as I've been on YouTube, and the times I was going to go down to his general area, it just didn't end up working out. That was when I lived further south in the state here, because I was only maybe 4 hours away from where Matt lives. So I haven't got to meet up with him yet, but when I'm in Georgia, I will definitely reach out to him. I'm just the kind of person, I'm generally trying to get away from the heat. So like, especially all summer, like if I go anywhere, I'm trying to go up north, further north and further east. But in the winter, when the temps are more favorable, I hope to be able to make it down that way at least once or twice this winter or fall. It doesn't have to be the dead of winter. The Amethyst mine that I go to is in Georgia, but it's on the complete opposite side of the state. And right now, since I work for myself, like my travels are literally, I don't do any more than like 2-night, 3-day trips at the moment. So to coordinate, meeting with people that are 5 hours out, it's tricky unless the trip is specifically planned, to go meet that person. So I haven't got to meet up with many people as I want to, but now that life's slowing down, I'm just planning on trying to plan, like a trip, like once a week or once every other week to meet up with somebody, whether it's another YouTube channel or a subscriber, someone I've known for a while on YouTube, something like that. So there's going to be a lot more collaborations and stuff like that coming in the future for sure. I have a hunt that I just went on with Vic, like 3 days ago, which was pretty cool. So I got the footage. I just got to edit it and get it up. I'm pretty behind on videos, but I'm also changing the channel a little bit. And I'm not just like mass putting out all my content. I'm trying to get a story and a concept behind each video. And while I'm kind of trying to grasp what kind of videos I want to post. I have a lot of footage that aren't worthy of a video just mounting up. So maybe I'll just do like a dump video where I post like an hour and a half worth of footage of just random out of context metal detecting footage. I have a few interesting and cool things that I found that I haven't posted yet, but you'll see how my videos have been more themed lately, how I did like the bed and breakfast hunt, metal detecting under the bleachers, the construction site, just I'm keeping the video to the theme. And then when I do other hunting the same day that's out of context, I haven't been adding it to the same video. I've just been trying, whether the video is 10 minutes long or 40 minutes long, I'm trying to keep it themed so it flows better. And it seems to be working as far as the channel's concerned. A lot more people have been watching the metal detecting videos on a regular basis. So I want to do something that, everyone can feel like they want to watch each video and click on it and have sort of like story and context behind it. So that's what I'm trying to do with the metal detecting. So like I'd like to get in the old permissions where the house is super old. I can tell a story and show all the finds from around that location, or whether it's a school. It's kind of hard to make a park hunt interesting, especially I don't find much in parks around me. But even if I do find a park where I find a lot of good stuff, there's really no story behind it. And it's just, a half hour of digging holes and nothing else interesting other than that. Not saying I won't do that. I'm just kind of saving all that footage to condense into, longer videos, stuff like that. Let's see. I'm going to get a drink here a second, make sure I didn't miss any super chats. So I'm going to follow up on a few things I talked about a little bit earlier here in the live stream so I don't forget. Yeah, Aggie Hall said still looking forward to that Naked and Afraid video. We'll see. I definitely want to do some stuff up in the woods, metal detecting videos, and who knows, camping videos, and maybe we'll do a Naked and Afraid episode. Metal detecting, Naked and Afraid. Let's see. What was I going to get at? Okay, so let's just start from the beginning, and I'll hit a few points that I missed. For everybody coming in now, for anyone who does a super chat of $5 and more, you get a sticky note written out right now, and you end up on my wall back there with all them other names, which will be shown in future actual videos. And also, I put, for those of you coming in, I opened a P.O. box. That information is going to be in the description. If you can't see it, I will mention it in future videos and stuff anyway. I'll try to make sure it's in all my descriptions now. I'm not setting up PayPal at the moment for donations. I know some people, including myself, don't like to do super chats because some people just don't like the whole concept of YouTube getting a cut because they take like 30%. But I mean, hey, they provide the infrastructure. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that some people prefer to do PayPal because they only charge like a 3% fee. But I'm not setting up PayPal right now, trying to keep things separate from my business account. And I only have one account right now. And it'll get confusing if I kind of get it all mixed together. So for the P.O. box, I'm going to do it the same way. If somebody sends like a donation, like I don't recommend anybody sends cash in the mail. That's not really a good idea. But if anybody does send something in the mail, like instead of sending a super chat, like if you sent like a check or a money order or something, same thing as the super chat if you're not set up to do that. If it's $5 or more, you're going to end up on the wall. So it's pretty plain and simple. People can send me anything they want, and I'll try to open it on the video. Like I said, make sure you note if your letter or the package to be private or public, whether you want other people to see it or for me to read it, on video or off. Make sure you let me know. I'll get to that super chat I see here in a second. So the only other things I'll mention with the with the P.O. box, I really don't care what anybody sends me. I will just be completely honest with everyone. Please don't send me any type of candy or anything like that, because I try to eat healthier. I don't always eat healthier, especially when I'm on the road, but I try to put in my best effort, and I've really tried to get away from like especially candy because it's just straight sugar, and I already have bad teeth and genetically bad teeth mixed with bad hygiene from when I was younger, and I'm extremely prone to cavities, so I just have pretty much cut like 90 to 95% of any type of candy out of my diet. So if you send me candy, I'm being honest. I won't eat it. It'll get thrown away or given to someone else. So I just want to be honest with you guys. So don't spend like $10 on sending me candy or something, because I won't eat it. So I just wanted to be nice and say that out there up front. So I would feel really bad if somebody sent me something that I didn't utilize, because I'm really thankful for everything that everyone from my channel has done for me over the years. I mean, some of you have been watching my videos for like 4 to 5 years, and I still have a hard time just believing that, So as I open myself up more to like receiving packages and stuff like that, I don't want it to seem like I'm just asking people for stuff. I'm not. I'm doing it because people keep asking me to do it, and that's why I'm doing it. But anyway, let's get to that super chat before I forget. Oh my gosh, the chat is moving so fast here. It was 0567 Genie. Yeah, and I appreciate that super chat. I know that was you last time that sent me like 2 $25 super chats. You are up on the wall. You are up on the wall. You've got yourself a sticky note. I think you can't read it from here now, but it'll be in future videos. But I think you got, what color are you? I don't know. I think you're one of the pink ones. Maybe. I don't know. Yep, you're a pink one, because the pink ones are kind of harder to see, but you're up there on the wall. So I appreciate that. I'm not doing double stickies, but I'm going to get a black Sharpie and give everyone like a ×2 or something for people that do more than one super chat. Okay, so let's try. Does anybody know how to turn on slow chat for the live chat screen here? Because it's like YouTube has like 2 different live streams or something. It's weird. There's one normal one and one through the camera setting. I'm still trying to figure it out. So like I set up all my settings on the main YouTube live stream page, but none of it applies when I click on camera, which I start the live stream from. So I am clueless with it. I'm going to have to reach out to somebody who knows what they're doing with this. So let's try to pick out a comment here. Rob Stewart, JD, I'm at work, but I love your videos. Appreciate it, Rob. I know you've been subscribed for a long time. Rob Feinstreiser, drop down the live chat. Drop down the live chat to top chat. I don't know what you mean by that. Not sure what you mean by that. I'll have to keep looking for it. Let's see. Assign a mod. Yeah. Well, who wants to be a mod? I can assign a mod. I mean, I don't have any issues with that. But I think it'd be a lot better if I had slow chat on. I mean, I just, like I said, I'm still new to all this. I'm probably going to let it go for now. Hey, Jan I see you, Jan. I didn't forget about last time. If you're watching this, send me an email. I gave out my information for people sending me invites and stuff like that. JDVCC@gmail.com. And also for everybody to know, I'm not going to be replying to messages from there with stuff like that from every day, because it's just how it is. It's just the nature of YouTube. When you put your email address out, you get a lot of spam too. So I'm probably going to go through that a couple times a week and respond to messages. So I probably won't get back to you immediately. I may. It just depends. Okay. So Stacy is amazing. Says, can I have a shout out, please? Stacy, that shout out is for you. I gotta quit moving the mouse here. I'm like shaking the screen. Waiting. Bob Murphy said, waiting on thunder and lightning to pass by to go swinging here. That's recommended. I've always thought about that when lightning starts. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm standing here outside with like with a lightning conductor swinging around, and I'm gonna get fried. I seriously Like when it starts to lightning and I'm out detecting, I'm like, seriously, like I gotta go. Like that's nothing to fool around with. You holding a big metal rod out in a lightning storm, probably not a good idea. Be the human conductor. We don't want to know. I don't want anybody to read on the news that a YouTuber JD got struck by lightning out metal detecting trying to make a video. We don't want that to happen. Stacy said, "Yay, I sub now." Well, thanks for the sub, Stacy. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, Rob said I'm waiting for the end of the 105-degree days. Not that hot here, but like I said, it's the humidity down south here that is just, even if it's 85, if there's no cloud cover, even if it's 80, no cloud cover and humid, I mean it's still crazy. But I'm really close to the mountains now. So there's some places that I can go that aren't too far away from me where the temperatures, I just drive up the mountain and the temperature drops by like 10 degrees and it's more shaded. The only thing is you're not allowed to metal detect in the Cherokee National Forest pretty much anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains except for on private property. And it's not typically the type of areas you want to door knock out in the boonies in the middle of the mountains. A lot of people live up there because they don't want disturbed. I'm generally not comfortable door knocking most places in the mountains unless they're little established towns sometimes. But also in those types of areas, historically, people were extremely poor. So when I go into the mountains, even when I do find places to metal detect, I usually don't find a whole lot anyway. That bed and breakfast video I posted, I found a bunch of old pennies. It's about what people had on them up there. A lot of areas. Wasn't a whole lot of money up there. Let's see. Peter Birdsell said, Yankees work harder because life is harder in the Northeast. There's definitely some truth to that statement. I'm not going to argue with you on that. There's definitely some different work ethic differences between the North and the South. But it's like anything, like you can live anywhere and have good work ethic. But I think more often than not, that up north people have more of a definitely like a go to the grind work ethic. Where in the South people are definitely a lot more laid back. It's true, and I think like you said, that's a lot of that is climate driven because when it is so hot, you don't feel like moving. You're just like a snake basking in the sun. It was weird. Like when I first moved south, I'd never seen this before because up north it was considered weird, or I don't know what kind of word I'm trying to use. It seemed, let's just say it wasn't culturally normal that like down here, you'll just be driving down the road and there'll be somebody sitting on the side of the road in the grass by the sidewalk, like in the middle of the summer, just like sitting there. And I'm like, why are people sitting on the ground by the sidewalk? It's like down here in the South, people just like sit down by stop signs. It's like, I've never like almost ever seen that in my life up north. It's just like completely different. So I think some of that has to do with just the extreme heat. People are just more laid back. I mean, it's kind of funny. A lot of the contractors around here, it's my goodness, you wouldn't want to be paying them an hourly wage because a lot of them take their time. That's the pace of life down here. It's just a lot. Just people go at a lot slower of a pace, and people can tell. I stick out like a sore thumb down here from growing up in the North. We're just hyperactive up there, I guess. RC boy, can I get a shout out? I love you. RC boy, there's your shout out. Hey. All right. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Quebec, Canada has tons of living a welfare system in contrast to the Northeast USA. Yeah, I'm not familiar with, I know a lot of like overall what's going on in Canada, but I don't know a whole lot about the state of their welfare system. It's obviously everywhere, but yes, it's definitely concentrated and pretty bad in a lot of dense urban areas. I mean, it's pretty much common theme anymore in the world we live in. It's the places that are extremely heavily populated urban areas tend to turn in the worst areas over time. I mean, it's just the way it's happening. And that's a huge discussion, so we're probably not going to go into that right now. But yeah, the urbanization of the world is happening extremely quickly. There's definitely, and it's not just in America, it's global. There is a mass push for urbanization where people are moving out of urban areas and swelling the size of cities. It's definitely happening. That's just the way the trend's going. And I'm not talking about any of the conspiracy end of it, of like, Agenda 2030, the new world order, all that sort of thing. Apart from any of that and any merit that would be in those types of arguments, which I believe some of it is true, apart from that, there's still it's still happening naturally anyway, whether people are planning it in an evil way for their own agenda. It's happening anyway because people are leaning more towards easier life conveniences and all sorts of other things. So there's also a natural urbanization happening that is sweeping the globe right now and has been picking up over the last few decades for sure. Hi, GD, watching from England, says Detectorist Tom. Hey, good to see you. Let's see. So, does anybody have any topics they would like me to talk about specifically? Like more than just like one question, like generally? Sam said you got the definition of urbanization backward. Tell me what your not your definition. What is the technical definition of urbanization? Let me see. Oh, I did want to point out something. This is just really random, but it was kind of funny. I don't know if anybody noticed this. Not a lot of people commented, but when I did that metal detecting under the bleachers video, there were so many targets under there. Somebody pointed out with a timestamp in the video that when I was digging out one of the pull tabs and doing all that live, oh, did I say it backwards? Oh, I probably did. Yeah, I meant people were moving into urban areas if I said rural. But anyway, somebody pointed out in the video that I mentioned that there were so many targets, like I couldn't even dig them all. So I scooped out this tiny little bit of dirt with my shovel to pull out a pull tab. And when I did that, a dime went flying out of it. And I didn't even see the dime. So in the video, you can see me plop the dirt up, and you can see a dime and a pull tab. I picked the pull tab up and I left the dime sitting there. And most of the time when people comment, like when you're doing a video, they think they see things like all the time, especially when you're doing underwater shots. They're like, oh, you missed a coin, you missed a ring. And like it's like 99% of the time it never is. But I looked at the timestamp and it's definitely a dime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link to that video and look at 18 minutes, I think, and 47 seconds into the video. You'll see me dig up the dime and leave it there. It's hilarious. So I got to go back for it. But I think if I can get it in the chat there. Let's see if I did that the right way. Yeah, I figured it out. Because I wanted to make sure the chat was working good on my end too, so I can put links and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks like it's working. I put a link to that video in there. So that worked. Okay, so let's try to keep up with the comments here. Amber Pullen said, what is the best state you ever metal detected? Well, I've done most of my metal detecting in Tennessee since I've lived down here. Found some pretty good stuff, but I definitely wouldn't put it on the top of the list for finds because historically Tennessee was a very poor state, especially in the rural areas. I find a lot of good stuff when I travel to Virginia. So Virginia, definitely find a lot of good stuff, but I also grew up in Pennsylvania, and I started detecting as a serious hobby in my early to mid 20s. When I was like, I don't know, when I was like 23, 24, I started metal detecting seriously in Pennsylvania. Found a lot of good stuff up there too. So Pennsylvania is awesome for metal detecting, and so is Virginia. I'd say they're pretty close tied for first place. I like detecting both of them places a lot. And I enjoy it in Tennessee here, but I just don't find quite as amazing stuff as when I travel to some other states. So that would be my answer on that. Sheila said, what month is your birthday? My birthday is November 5th. Do you like animals, JD? Ever going to get a pet? That's actually, that was from the, how do you say that? The Rupex one. Yeah, I do like animals. And I'm actually kind of torn about that. Because I travel a lot, the last thing I want to do is get a pet and then neglect it. So I'm really torn about that. And I have been for a little while now, especially that since things have slowed down. I've wanted to get a cat or two. But I just travel a lot, and it would make it really difficult to have a pet. So it's kind of on the back burner right now. I don't know where life is going to lead in the future. So possibly in the future, absolutely. Just not immediately at this moment, I would say. But yeah, I like any, yeah, I like animals, but predominantly if I got, house pets, I'd probably get a cat or two. If I got a dog, I'm more of kind of an outdoor dog type person. I don't want to say don't like, but I'm not really into like tiny little yipper dogs, which is kind of joke. One of my cousins, we call them like the little dogs, like Charlie's just call them like oversized rats, like I'm not into small dogs, like if I got a dog, it'd be kind of more of a bigger dog, like Great Danes, any type of big dog. I like big dogs. So let's see. Got a lot of comments coming in here now. Cats can be left alone for a week as long as you have multiple litter boxes. That's true. So, I mean, that would be why I was leaning toward a cat too, because I travel more. I would want to get a pet that's more self-sustaining. So, yeah, absolutely. That's kind of why I mentioned cat is kind of on the top of the list, but also because I like cats too. Scott Wayne said a pet gets in your way while detecting. I'm sure they definitely could. Some people really enjoy taking their, the pets out metal detecting too. Some people have been doing it with their pets so long, it's kind of like their thing. They just go out to the park with their dog, but it has to be the right kind of dog. You don't want one of the dogs that's like annoyed at beeping or afraid or barks at it. You got to have the right type of dog for doing that sort of thing. I'm finding out that I have family down south in Tennessee, JD. We might be related. I'm not originally from Tennessee. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so I would highly doubt that we're related. Granny TG, Granny said, you look 20. I am 29. I am getting to be an old fart. I'm going to be 30 in November. I'm getting very old. See, it shows right here. My hairline's receding. We got really random coming in now. Sam Sneed said, do you like fish sticks? I absolutely hate fish sticks. I think they are gnarly and nasty and greasy and gross. I eat fish once in a while, but no, I don't like fish sticks. Haddock, breaded haddock. That's going to be, if you get a good piece of breaded haddock, especially if it's like Alaskan or the good stuff. Yeah, I like me some breaded haddock with mac and cheese. It's kind of like a comfort food. Haddock and mac, good stuff. Haven't had it in quite a long time. The good stuff. Hairlines are overrated. Yeah, I would say yeah. I would say yeah. You wouldn't believe. I gotta see if I have some older pictures of me with my long hair, but I don't have any old pictures of where I had my ponytail. Especially when I was younger, I hated people taking pictures of me. So I don't have a whole lot of them, but I do at least have pictures of me with my hair that's like down to here, and I've got the crazy, like the 80s mullet and everything. Yeah, that was me for quite a while. I didn't shave my head till like 4 years ago. Before then, my hair was a train wreck. You get your hair, you get all that hair shaved off, your personality changes instantly. It's not a joke. There's real psychology between the amount of hair you have and your personality. It's no joke. It's a real thing. I'm telling you, it's real. I could hide behind all that hair before. It's like if you don't want to deal with the world, you just leave the hair over your eyes. I'm telling you. Do you have any more lakes to detect? It's tricky around here because you're not allowed to metal detect on TVA property, which is pretty much every waterway in Tennessee, in my area. So it's tricky. So not really good on the water hunting close to me. I was able to do that waterfall spot because that was in a public area that wasn't protected. So I'm able to find some spots like that. And there are a few beach areas I want to hit, like lake beaches and stuff where I'm allowed to, which I haven't done yet, but generally not really good in this area for that type of thing. Golden Pater Reviews said, "Good afternoon, JD. What was the last live stream donation I paid? Just checking." I didn't write the amounts on, but if I remember, I think it was $5. I think you donated $5 if I remember correctly. Numbers normally stick with me pretty good. 925 under said, "Grow a beard." Probably not. Also, I don't know if it's genetic or what, but I don't grow a lot of facial hair. Just flat out with it. I just don't. I could grow a big goatee. I could grow a big mustache, but like all of this, it would be the spottiest, patchiest, most horrendous looking beard you've probably ever seen in your life. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. So no, I could never have a good old thick Amish beard. Okay, I don't want to get really offensive here because I don't want to make anyone mad, but yeah, I would just I would not fit in an Amish community very well because it just wouldn't happen unless I started taking like all sorts of hormones and stuff and forcing my body to grow hair. So yeah, totally not into that. I started cutting out. I mean, I cut like soy products out of my diet a long time ago. There's a lot of controversy with soy because soy is used as like even therapy for women who want to increase estrogen levels. So there's a lot of debate there for like guys that ingest a lot of soy products. When I was younger, I used to drink a lot of soy milk and stuff like that, but I don't anymore. And I didn't realize until recently, like when I travel, I eat a lot of protein bars, and a lot of them have soy protein isolate in them. So I'm trying to get away from those too to get most of the soy out of my diet. Let's see. Jan said, "Sent you an email." Awesome, Jan. I will definitely get to that one. I did not forget about last time. I will definitely respond to that, Jan. Should have our names hanging in the back. Oh yeah, the names. I will be showing them in a video up close so you can see them. But all these sticky notes right here are all the people that donated $5 or more with the super chat. It's everyone's there. It's just with this webcam. I have it focused on me, so you can't really read that back there. But I'll be showing everybody on one of my actual produced videos that all the subscribers see. So I'll run through them. So yep, everybody's back there. Everybody that did the super chat, you're all back there, and you will get shown in a video or multiple videos. I'm sure I'll show that wall a lot there. Delano Howard said, "Could you give me a shout out, please?" There's your shout out. Trying to get to everyone. So maybe what I'll do too is like people who do like even a smaller super chat, maybe I'll put links to their channel in like the description of the next video or something. I'll figure something out. Because I don't want anybody to feel like they have to super chat $5 just to, that's just a thing I'm doing on the wall. But I mean, I'm actually surprised that people were doing the super chats. I mean, you guys are awesome. I really like doing the live streams now. The interaction is good because it helps me keep the direction of the channel in focus to like see who are the people that are actually watching my videos. And I see the importance in that. There's like some times in the past where I was posting videos, but I still felt a little bit disconnected, and maybe my channel like showed that, you know, I was just a little bit out of touch or something. And so I knew this is something that I wanted to do. And it, you know, after 5 years of just kind of doing a whole lot of random stuff, for like the channel to really be materializing now into, you know, something interesting, unique, and like exciting all at the same time. I'm just really happy what it's turned into. And if it wasn't for everybody that stuck with it for all them years, you know, I don't know, you know, what would have happened. But, you know, I guess through the times when my channel's been really, really hot and getting a lot of new subscribers and a ton of views, and times when it's been like really slow, it's something that, for better or for worse, I just really wanted to stick with it, just knowing that it would have some sort of use in the future. And a lot of you got to see, you know, like major changes in my content and personality and different things over the last 5 to 6 years. And it's kind of a miraculous, you know, thing, you know, having this open platform for sharing, you know, the influence that your viewers can have on your life as well. It's no joke. It's a real thing. And I still think that people are just really exploring and finding out what this interconnected world is really going to look like. And it's something bigger than I think a lot of us really imagine. And I'm trying not to take that lightly, the amount of influence that I have. And I mean that absolutely not from a perspective of boasting, because I've posted videos for 6 years, whether my videos got, you know, 300 views a piece or, you know, over 10 million one of the videos. And you know, popularity comes, it can come and it can go. And I just, over the last year especially, I've really started to grasp that how much influence a lot of people like myself really have. You know, a lot of people can get lost in the numbers and always compare themselves to someone else and say, oh, you know, there's only 1,000 people that watch my videos. It's like 1,000 people is a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And I try to respect that fact and not take it for granted. So let's see. We still got 105 people in the chat here. Nathan Johnson, get them pads on and go to the bleachers. Live stream hunt. I'm not ready to try to do the live streams in the field yet. I know you can't do it really long on your phone. And I got a Samsung Galaxy S7, and it gets hot when you run applications and stuff on it, like for long periods of time. So I don't think it's the right kind of phone for doing the live streams extended anyway. The battery life is decent on it, but probably drain pretty quickly doing a live stream. As for the bleacher video that I linked to and showing you guys how I had that funny blooper that somebody mentioned there. What was I going to say? Brain fart. What was I just going to say? Oh yeah, for that video. It's one of those videos that most of the videos that you post that naturally don't go viral, which is most videos. When you post a video, you'll get most of your views within the first 48 hours. And then after that, it just kind of slows down really fast. But I told everyone if the video got 1,000 likes, I would go under the bleachers again. And a lot of the regulars liked the video more than usual. So it got up to like 650 likes or something within the first 2 days. And then it slowed down. But it's one of those videos that never, I'm trying to look here, never completely died off. So it's still getting several, actually, I think it's still getting about 600 views on a daily basis. And out of that 600, these are people that are, a lot of them that aren't subscribed to the channel. So there's not a lot of interaction with your videos once they get outside of your subscriber base, unless they're like incredibly exciting or I don't know, something really interesting, or, you know, let's say, just say like for random like vloggers or random content that people are stumbling into, you're just not going to get a high interaction rate. But since it's still getting like 600-ish views a day, that like count is slowly climbing. So it's up to 874 likes out of 1,000 now. So, I mean, I'm going to stick to my word. I mean, if the video gets to that 1,000 likes, it's at 874. If it gets to that 1,000, I'm going to crawl back under there. And I really didn't want to. So, but I will keep my word. If it gets there, I will crawl back under those bleachers and do another roundabout in there. Who knows? There could be a ring down there. I mean, but the ratio of pull tabs to coins was just horrendous. Well, I mean, we found a dime, 2 pennies, and about 40 to 50 pull tabs and pieces of trash. It was pretty bad. So let's see. Yeah, that video, it ended up, I mean, it's still rolling. I posted it on like July 15th or something. It's got like 14,000 views and it's still getting about 600 every day. So people are still finding that video. So I think it is going to hit 1,000 likes, even if you guys don't get it up to 1,000. It's just going to get there organically, I think. So it looks like I'm going to be under the bleachers. And yeah, going to just have to wait for a day where it's not super hot and there's not a lot of people at the park and track there. Because it's like right in the middle of a park and like around a middle school where they have a track where people walk and like some ball fields and stuff. So I'm going to look like an idiot under there if I do it when it's busy. Let's try to pull another comment here. Let's see. Somebody else said, do you have any pets? I just answered that a little bit ago in the stream. No, not currently because I travel a lot. So I've restrained from getting a pet. JD, have you seen anything unexplainable? That was from Sheila. Oh boy. Have I seen anything unexplainable while I've been out? I would have to think about that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that has been unexplainable. I did see, this is not while I was out detecting, I did see what I think was a shooting star one time at night while I was out driving. Weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, it just shot over the mountain line like super fast, like crazy fast. It was like this crazy green color, like a pretty vibrant green if I remember correctly, and it was fairly large. Like if you're looking at the North Star, this is bigger than that, and it was kind of big on the front, and it kind of streaked out like it almost had a tail, and it went shoo, and that was it, and it was pretty fast. Disappeared within 5 seconds. Wasn't anything going up like somebody shooting off a firecracker or anything like that. It was fast. It was coming downward. It looked like it was some sort of shooting star, comet. I don't know. But I never knew exactly what it was for certain. But yeah, that was, I was actually with my brother at the time and he saw it too. So it wasn't just me either. I believe so. So it was interesting. I don't know what it was. Let's see. Love the historical aspect of your videos. I appreciate that. I try my best to concentrate on the past and the mindset that goes along with the finds. I really enjoy doing that myself because I'm really into it. I don't try to just force it for the videos. I really love old houses. I really do, and that's just a part of me. So the metal detecting just goes along with that. Says meteor. I don't know. It could have been a meteor. I don't know. But the weird thing is I've seen meteor showers before and stuff like that. But they're just, they kind of just, I don't know, like almost sparkle and shoot around. But they're normally like whitish in color. This was that thing I saw that looked like some sort of comet or something. It was green. I know for a fact it was some kind of weird limey green color. It had a definitely distinctive green color to it. And it was fast, and it just went shoo. It wasn't a plane, nothing like that. It was some sort of like, I think it had to be some sort of space matter. I mean, I don't think it could have been anything else except for the people that believe in UFOs. Have I ever searched for meteorites? I haven't. I think more commonly, you mainly do that in like desert areas like out west, and I've never actually traveled really far out west, so I haven't done any meteor hunting. Let's see. Jeff said, Bigfoot thoughts. I don't know. If you see a big footprint in the ground, that's a big foot. Let's see. I like your eclipse video. Thank you, Sheila. I'm surprised how well that video turned out for having a really cheap camera. I zoomed that thing into like the absolute max. I couldn't believe how close I got to that. It was a little shaky, but I'm surprised how well it showed up. I had the perfect angle being in East Tennessee in the field I was in, that I got that distinctive pink color right before it completely covered it. It was amazing. I was not expecting to see that like fluorescent pink color around the edge of the eclipse. That really blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it was even more pink than I've ever seen in a sunset. It was really cool. Have I ever been to New York? No, but it's very, 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 very high on my list. I mentioned in the live stream, it's even possible in my future that I may get a little vacation spot where I can spend time up in the summer in upstate New York, in some of those areas around there, meet up with people and detect colonial stuff. I would love to do that, especially the summers around here. Since I moved closer to the mountains, it's not as bad as when I lived in Knoxville. But yeah, I've been itching so bad to go up north and just kind of get out of the whole southern vibe here. I've been here like 5 years now without making a trip back up to my hometown in Pennsylvania. So it's long overdue. I mean, the north is in my blood, and I'm like really homesick as far as getting up into the north again. So yes, New York is probably in my future. It's on the top of my list, or at least in the general area there somewhere. Blue Line Archaeology said, thanks a lot, JD. You have me always scanning the serial numbers on my bills now. Drives my girlfriend nuts. I'm sure it drives a lot of people nuts. They're probably like, oh, just spend a thing. But it's no joke. If you find a solid serial number on a US bill, especially because our serial numbers are longer because they print a lot of bills. If you find a solid serial number, all ones, twos, threes, fours, five, six, seven, eight, nines, I mean, they're worth big bucks. I mean, collectors will pay over $1,000 for one of those banknotes. So, I mean, if you got the bills in your hand, look at them. If you got some kind of crazy error or a really, really good serial number, $1,000 or more is not out of the cards. Now, I haven't found anything that good in circulation with the US stuff. I found some pretty valuable foreign currency, but it's out there. I mean, and if you don't look, you're not going to find it. So, I mean, that's how it is. Most of the star notes aren't worth much over face value, but there are some more rare ones, so I mean, you just got to look. Oh, cool. Sold a Liar's poker number with 5 8s on it on eBay. Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting number runs and stuff that people look for. I mean, why not? Let's see. Fourth time, why did you move to Tennessee if less detecting ability? That was more for personal reasons. And also that was when I was really early on into the metal detecting, and I don't think I realized the difference it would make in being able to find older stuff. But that move was more for personal reasons, and because I was actually at a more explorative phase in my life where I really just wanted to go other places. So to me, it was fresh territory for metal detecting, not necessarily worse, but I understand a lot more than I do now than I did then. But a lot of it was for personal reasons also. I needed a major change. Coming down to Tennessee originally was a huge boost to my health. I had a lot of health issues at that time, and the warmer, sunny climate really helped me heal in a lot of areas of my life a lot quicker and deal with sort of like some PTSD that I was going through, some like from health issues. So it was more so for personal reasons at the time. Some of it was for business aspect. Since I was self-employed, I just like the fact of it being an income tax-free state, which has really served to my benefit over the years of building my business. And I know a lot more than I do now, but it was just kind of a natural inclination. Like, people want to pay less in taxes. So we're seeing now that people are starting to flee like tax tyranny, where taxes are going crazy in some high tax state. And Tennessee is really booming like right now for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is because it's a low tax state, and people are flocking here as the economy has been challenged. And also, a lot of people came up here to East Tennessee after Hurricane Harvey. Some people are fleeing the coastal areas, and Tennessee has just really turned into it's turning into a more populated state. People are really moving here like a magnet. And also, Nashville has exploded in population. And last year they passed Memphis for the most populated city in Tennessee. Nashville has now eclipsed a million population, overtaking Memphis. And a lot of that craziness kind of moved into Eastern Tennessee. Where I lived in Knoxville, it was the first time in my life that I didn't live in a town that was like dying. I grew up in a literally dying industrial town, and I just had to get out of there. And I couldn't believe, like, for once in my life, I was living in an area that there was actually there was money coming in, and the economy was booming, and there was a lot of development going on, and it was growing, and it was crazy to see, because I came down here at a point when East Tennessee really started to boom, and so I got to be a part of that. And making it through putting myself out on a limb, some of the real estate investments I made just personally in living places, I was able to make a little bit of profit on a couple of properties that I sold that I lived in, just because I was in a real estate climate that was on the up and up. So yeah, but anyway, originally I came down to Tennessee for personal reasons, and just decided to stay. But now I do plan on staying where I live at. I'm closer to the north now. I moved another hour and a half, like an hour and 45 minutes northeast. I'm pretty close to Virginia right now, so it feels a little bit more like home here. Once you kind of get on the other side of the Appalachian Mountains, that's kind of what, to me, separates the north from the south in this area. It just makes a huge difference. So I like it where I'm at now, and I plan to do a lot more traveling up from around where I'm from. I need a drink. I got to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Okay, I scrolled up quite a good bit. Doesn't look like I have. Whew, hour and 27 minutes. I don't think we're going to make the 4 hours and 12 minutes we did last time. That was crazy. Okay, so let's pick out. Let me check something here first, and then I'll pick out some more comments here. That's weird, because when I go out of the live stream view, it's like I don't feel like I'm live anymore. It's like, unless I have myself up so that I can monitor what's going on, I don't feel like I'd keep my train of thought. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm back on the page here. Oh, give me a second, guys. I gotta stretch out here. From doing detecting a couple of days ago. I was out yesterday too. You can see me there, scouting out a place that's pretty close to me, and it was cherry picked to death, but I still was able to find a few older targets from this one skull that people had missed over the years, but it had been metal detected pretty good. But I found a lot of nickels from like the 1960s and one from the 1950s. It was a skull that wasn't super old, like early 1960s. Yeah, but anyway, Rob finds treasure. Another $5 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that, man. It says, gotta go, JD. Maybe you'll be on when I get back. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how crazy it gets. But take care, Rob. I appreciate that super chat. And Rob's already up on the wall, so we're not going to put him up again. But I got to find something else to do that people that are doing more than one super chat, just to be another incentive. Let's see. Little Dixie digging. JD, are the 1909 VDB pennies worth much without a mint mark? Okay, I think I got your question. Yes. Dug, not a whole lot. If it's in non-dug condition, they, off the top of my head, they generally range in various circulated condition anywhere from like $8 up to like $20 in really, really good shape. Well, more circulated range, say maybe $15 or so. If you dig one up and it's corroded, which is more often than not the case, like if you dig it up, it's going to have corrosion on it. If you find a corroded one, a semi-corroded one, I mean, you probably could still sell it for like $4 or something like that. It just depends on how bad it is. In Tennessee, and digging in the clay, if you dig out a wheat penny, it's almost always trashed from the corrosion, the acidity in the clay. So the copper coins and the bronze coins that I dig up here generally are only worth like 10% of their normal numismatic value, which is quite terrible. But in some areas of the country where the soil's not as acidic, especially up north, I've seen people dig up bronze and copper coins that have zero corrosion on them, a beautiful jade green patina, and are really interesting. And sometimes coins like that will actually sell for a premium rather than less. So there's kind of a wide range there, but generally, often than not, if you dig up a copper or bronze coin, generally right off the bat, it's worth like half of its normal value when you dig it out of the ground, sometimes even less. But yes, it would, a 1909 VDB without a mint mark, yeah, it's still worth money for sure. Sheila says, is it comfortable living in Tennessee? I assume you mean the weather. It's nice here. The summers are difficult just because they're so humid and there's not a lot of cloud cover here. I grew up in a town that we got the lake effect weather from Lake Erie in that area, kind of the outskirts of that. So it was like perpetually cloudy. Here it's sunny. So when it's humid and sunny, the sun will really beat you down in the summer. But in the spring and in the fall here, you get like a month or a month and a half on each end of that is just beautiful. You don't have to run the heat. You don't have to run the AC. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And especially the spring portion of that is my favorite, because here we don't get the dramatic color changes in the leaves. We get some change, but I like things when things are coming to life, not dying. So the autumn months here aren't quite as beautiful as up north. So I love Tennessee springs. You usually get a ton of rain. The temps are nice. It's perfect for digging and just being outside in general. So yeah, I like Tennessee weather overall. We get some snow here, but we generally get temperatures high enough on a regular basis that even when we do get several inches of snow, it'll usually melt within a few days, because we'll have a day that goes up over freezing in the 40s or something like that. So I do really like it here. I do. Let's see. What's that say? Hylian link in the castles. My oldest detecting find is a 1905 Indian head, 1 cent. That's a great find. 1905 Indian head penny is a good find for sure. Yeah, a lot of people saying it's hot. Yeah, it is definitely hot this time of year. Let's see. What's your favorite restaurant? My favorite restaurants currently are local restaurants that are not actual chains. So probably wouldn't really help a whole lot to answer that. But if I could go into what chains I actually like, I'm not a big fan of most chain restaurants. There are some in East Tennessee for a sit-down restaurant. There's I think they might have one in North Carolina, but they don't have a whole lot of locations. But there's one called the Chop House, which is a really good restaurant, really good price, well priced, but like good food. It's a good sit-down restaurant. So I don't do a lot of sit-down restaurants, but I like the Chop House. There is anybody should check it out if you're in this area here. There's this place. in the town that's next to a city next to me in Bristol. It's called Cootie Brown's. It's a really cool place. What they did to this restaurant is amazing. They kind of made it contemporary, but repurposed a whole lot of the things. They got a lot of crazy lighting fixtures. They have like old garage bays like in the restaurant, and they have like an area that's kind of outdoor to the windows, it's like overhead. It's not completely outdoors, but it's like open to the air. And it's just really cool how they design this place. They do a lot of cool different menu items and specialty pizzas. And it's a really cool place. It's a local chain called Cootie Brown's. If anybody's ever in Bristol, they should check it out. It's a really neat spot. I like going there for lunch when I can. It's a bit of a drive for me, but maybe once a month I'll head out there for lunch. Got a super chat from Italian Mukbang Nana. It says $2. I love watching your channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. So let's see. Get some other questions here. Should I keep my 1, 2, 3, 4 starting $1 bill? I would say no. It's not enough of a run to be worth anything more than face value. Now, if it was like combined with like a star note and you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, like a combination, I would keep it. But if 1, 2, 3, 4 is the only interesting thing about the bill, I would say don't keep it. You'll want at least 5 or 6 numbers in a row for it to be desirable. So I would say no on that one. You could throw that back out and catch another fish. What age were you when you began metal detecting? That is from Chandler Medlin. Did I say that right? I hope so. So I'll briefly go into the story real quick. I was sometime around when I was, I don't know, 13 or 14. The first memory I ever have of seeing a metal detector, I was in a Walmart and they must have been doing a clearance. So in front of the cash registers up against the wall, they just had this mountain of metal detectors. And, they have all the pictures in there of like a guy and a kid and they're holding like gold watches and chains. And I just remember looking at it. And the first time it really hit me, I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. I want to do that. And that was my first memory of anything metal detecting related, was when I was either 13 or 14. And then I think it was for my 14th birthday or something like that, my parents got me a White's metal detector, an old analog style one, which was still popular at the time. I mean, that was quite a long time ago. But they gave it to me early. It was like for my birthday, but early. You know how when you have parents or relatives that they have to justify giving you something. So it's like, oh, that's you get it 3 months early, but that's for your birthday. So I think it was kind of one of them sort of deals. I poked around some parks in school, like parks that when my parents would go out, I would take it with me and look around. And I looked around in our yard and found a lot of coins that my parents had dropped over the years. Cause I mean, and other people that had visited, cause I'd lived there, since I was born. So, it was interesting doing that. And I got good at going to parks and find coin shooting just with my little 7-inch coil, analog machine, one tone, but a great machine to learn on. So I started metal detecting when I was 14, just did it very, very, very sparingly between like the ages of 14 and 18. Just a tiny bit here and there with that. And then when I was about 24 years old, 23, whenever I started the YouTube channel, I started metal detecting seriously. And I mean seriously, like about 7 to 8 months before I started the channel. And that was about 6 years ago, and the rest is history. So prior to my mid-20s, I just metal detected maybe 20, 30 times randomly at different places, just predominantly finding clad coins and stuff like that. So let's see what else is going on here. So a lot of people are saying, what is the best thing I found? What are my favorite finds? I addressed that in the last chat, and I know that's going to come up a lot. So I'm not trying to ignore you, but I'm just going to kindly not focus on those questions because I don't want to be really redundant and keep answering the same one, especially on this live stream. I didn't have anything planned, and I'm just randomly taking some things from the chat here. Little Dixie Diggins said, do you like farm fields or do you like yards better? Well, you did put the keyword better in there. I will detect either of them, but personally, I think it may just because of my area. I like yards better because at heart I am a coin shooter and I love finding the old coins and rings and the little small valuables that people lost. I think part of that too is the farm fields around here. They generally aren't as old as they are up north. So Tennessee farm fields, in a lot of instances, I'm definitely not saying overall, but in a lot of instances, Tennessee farm fields are just nothing but trash. There's not a whole lot there, with maybe a few good things mixed in. They're just not very eventful from where I'm at, the farm fields. So I much prefer the yards. I just love looking around the old buildings too. So that would be my answer to that. But if I was up north, I'd be down for some farm fields to find large cents and stuff like that. Absolutely. Sheila said, what was your first ideas for YouTube? Do you mean as far as videos or like what I thought about doing it? Because I still have most of my old videos posted. If you could just go to my channel and search oldest first. Oh my gosh, my oldest video. I was going to talk about that a little bit because my it's raining now. My 6th year YouTube anniversary is this September, and I was completely oblivious to anything video related. When I say oblivious, like I can't explain to you how oblivious that I was. My parents had got me, and they don't at that point, they didn't know anything about tech at all, even like worse than me. I mean, I was still decent with tech, and like I did a lot with computers when I was younger, starting a business and gaming and different stuff. So I was decent with tech, but when it came to video, I knew absolutely nothing. For Christmas or something, like a couple years prior, they had got me an old camera that was still analog style. It wasn't digital. And it's the only camera that I had access to. So I literally, the first YouTube video I did, I literally had to put a mini CD, or they call them like a CDRW or something, the miniature CDs. You had to put the CD in the camcorder. You heard it, operating, because it's like an old analog style camera. So you had to take the CD out, put it into your computer, find software that would rip the content, like off your CD if you wanted to code it. And you had to go through this crazy process just to figuring out how to put a YouTube video on. And I remember I was at a time in my life where I didn't want to be as tied down to things. And how do I want to say it? I didn't want to be as like frugal and focus on things, because I that's part of my life of how like I got to be successful in business was by making hard decisions and being frugal and creating a path forward while my business and stuff was growing. And I can remember it was one of those times in my life where I just wanted something new, and I was so frustrated with this camera that I kid you not, I was able to get that first video posted, and then like after that, I didn't want to try selling the thing. I just wanted to go on a new path and start with the videos. And I was doing a lot of detecting, and I was just like, something about this camera was represented. I can't explain it, but just follow me here. This analog camera was like representation of like a part of my life that I wanted to get away from. I can't really explain it. That's a big, long psychological thing. So I took this camera, this old analog camera, I took it and I went, boom, and I threw it in the trash, and that was it. It went out with the trash, and then I bought some new equipment, and the rest is history. I started posting videos with the little handheld JDVC cameras. I was so video illiterate. I did not know that 360, 720, 1080, I didn't even know they stood for like different resolutions. All I knew is in my software editor, when I uploaded a video in 360, it went really fast. So a lot of my older videos, it's hilarious. Even though they had high definition capability when I was using them back in 2012, I didn't even know how to upload them in high definition because I thought the DPI, I didn't know. I just knew when I clicked a lower one, the video rendered a lot faster. So my channel probably would have done better early on if had I been uploading my early videos in high definition back in 2012, it would have actually been a little bit ahead of its time. But I mean, I was still behind. So, I mean, YouTube's a crazy thing. The world has really just started to discover this in a major way over the last 3 to 4 years. I mean, when I started YouTube, it was still like a majorly experimental thing that society was just sort of like getting its grasp of. It was, it kind of interesting thing. But those types of things I can ramble on for a long time. I've always, even since I was young, I've always just been into psychology and just trying to figure out why people think the way they do and why things happen. I've just always been that way. And I've always been like an eavesdropper as a kid. Like if I could listen into somebody's conversation, I mean, my ears were there. I know it's bad. It was really bad. I try not to disturb people's privacy anymore. But back then I was just curious to a fault. Whew. Yeah, drink. I'm actually getting a little hungry. I'm gonna have to get some grub here soon. We're an hour and 45 minutes in on the live stream. Let's take a look, another look at the chat here. Let's see. Hey, we got Down South Detecting in the house. How's it going? Let's see. Hey, JD, just got onto the live stream. What's the big announcement? Oh, I'll just briefly, for everybody coming in, it's in the, I think it's in the description, or if it's not yet, it will be after the live stream post when I'm done. I set up a PO box so where people can send me things, and I also sent up an email for people I want to keep in contact with who send me invites for detecting, things like that. I'm using that email for like business and invites, collaborations, that sort of thing. The only thing I'm not using it for is I just don't want people like constantly sending questions there, because I'll get so many messages to the point where I can't respond them all. So I'm trying to coordinate with other creators and like anything, creator business invites for detecting, and anything, kind of a multi-purpose way where people can get a hold of me for important inquiries and stuff like that, and the PO box. So I'm set up now where anybody can send me stuff, and I'm also doing a lot more traveling now. So I got a lot going on here on the channel, and it's quite exciting. Let's see. Cheryl said the 1922 wheat scent from your last vid. How did it clean up? And was there a mint mark? Oh, and then she said 1921. I mean, it's okay. The weird thing about some of the soil is like it looked kind of clear when I dug it out of the ground, but when it got exposed to the air, by the time it cleaned up, it looked a lot worse than when I dug it. It didn't have a mint mark, so I mean, it's just an uncommon coin in corroded condition. It's probably only worth about 20 cents, but it's still cool to find. I wish it would have had the S mint mark on it, because they only made the only mint mark on coins in 1921 when they did have them was the S mint mark for San Francisco. It didn't have the S mint mark, which I'm further east. Almost all the coins I find here are Philadelphia or Denver. So I don't find a lot of S mint coins around here. So I wasn't expecting it. But you never know. Hoosier Hillbilly 22 said, uh-oh, second stream in less than a week. You're getting the bug, JD. LOL. I don't know. I enjoyed the first one. I wanted to announce the P.O. box and the email address and do what I promised with everyone with the sticky notes. I still got that going for the $5 super chats. Anybody that sends one gets their channel name up on my wall, which will be shown in future videos also. So I just wanted to keep doing a few live streams just to get down with the flow, get a system set up so that I feel like anytime I need to do one, I can come on here and I'm all ready to go. And it's going well. But I got the P.O. box out of the way today. I just opened it today. Got the email set up for people to be able to coordinate with me. And things are looking up as far as the communicating with my subscribers and things like that. So everything's going good on this end. And I appreciate everyone who has tuned into the live stream here. Best EDM today said, I love your channel. Found you through watching Abandoned Places. Haha. Yeah, a lot of people found my channel through various different things. And man, I've done all kinds of different types of videos. So who knows where most of the people came from. But I know a lot of people from the old days came from my drug dealer hideout video. That's the first like major boom I got on my channel. And last year, when 2017 was just coming in, that penny tutorial I did, I mean, that video still, it's one of the, I'll probably never have a video again in my history of YouTube that made it that high in the rankings and algorithms on YouTube. It's still getting like on average, probably like 12 to 13,000 views a day. It's like rolling. It's like up to 13 million views. Like so many people found my channel through that penny tutorial video. And some of the, you know, what was the other one? But yeah, I mean, I posted on so many different topics. Like I don't even know where all my traffic came from over the years. I just know obviously the major videos are always a boost for people finding your channel. But yeah, then actually that one of the ones that was kind of unexpected when I was exploring and working on promoting other channels here to try to bring a fresh breath of air when my channel was going through a really challenging time. I started collaborating to get some content out of other creators. And the first collaboration I did with Michael Oliver, that video did extremely well, being an underwater video, but that was like kind of right before the days where the river treasure hunting got really popularized. Originally, obviously, Aqua Trigger Bo originally started posting. Those videos started to get popular through him, and then D Almighty resonated with a large audience, and he actually caused that genre to go, I don't know what you want to say, mainstream, and a lot of news outlets picked up on it. And I mean, he has such a mass following on his channel now. That collaboration video I did got a lot of views through when those trends were building. And since when you post a concept that's not really popular, like when you're one of the first people to do it, what happens is if that concept ever turns into a trend or gets really big, the algorithms favor those older videos. So even though that collaboration I did with Michael Oliver was way back in like the late summer or early fall of 2016, the video is still getting a lot of views now because it just ranks so high on YouTube. It's like 2.5 million views, and it's awesome. I'm really happy for Michael on that video because he continues to get a lot of traffic and subscriptions from that video, and a lot of people have discovered his amazing content through that video, which I'm really pleased for both of us. It really worked out. It gave my channel a boost, and it really gave his channel a boost. And he took that little bit of a boost, and he's done a great job with it. I mean, he's taken his channel to the next level, and it has made his content a lot better. And it's just awesome to be able to grow channels alongside some creators where you look at, and I remember like when I did that collaboration with him, he had like 3,000 subscribers or something like that. And I looked at his content and I'm like, my gosh, I'm like, at this time, I didn't know him other than commenting on a couple of his videos. And I'm like, my gosh, this guy's content is just so underrated. And it's good stuff too. You know, I like it. And I'm like, man, I just got to get one of his videos on my channel. So we worked on a collaboration. He gave me permission to use some of his content. So I put something together, tried to tailor it where it was a long form video that seemed like it was one concept, and everybody just loved it. And the video really blew up. And it was a time that my channel was at its slowest point since I started my channel. And it was kind of working through those original collaborations and then, you know, improving my own content where my channel just went into this crazy phase of really growing. And it's when YouTube had made a lot of changes in late 16 with the algorithms, where they were allowing a lot of the views to be, let's say, utilized by like hey, it's hard to explain. A lot happened, and I've got some stories about that. But not only was my channel building in momentum, but I was the beneficiary of some changes that YouTube was making that didn't last. So I kind of rode a major wave and I just went with it, and it's kind of the rest is history. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind over the years, all the different topics I've posted on, especially the past 2 years. That's one of the things a lot of people say, that my view to subscriber to view ratio has gone into the tank, has gotten horrible, and that's true. But that's partially as a channel gets bigger. Generally, that ratio gets worse as your channel grows outside of the community that it's built on, because it's everybody that watches your video outside of that isn't necessarily interested in the topic that you're presenting. But also, since I post on a lot of different topics, I don't like people. A lot of people unsubscribe when I post a video that they don't like, or they don't or aren't interested in the topic. So yeah, my channel over the last year especially has been getting view heavy, but the subscribers have been lacking behind based on how many views I'm getting. It's something I decided to do, though. I decided to keep it a variety channel, even though it's more challenging as far as building a channel. I decided that's the route I want to take, and that's what I'm doing. So let me get a drink here, and I'll try to grab a couple more questions. Okay. Hi, JD, saying hi from Washington State. I got into your channel last year, and you stood out the best of everyone. Keep up with good work. Thank you for the kind words, David. Appreciate that. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Kat Groenbeck, I hope I said that right. Groenbeck said, can you talk a bit about your educational background? Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so I guess let's go to the very beginning here. So let's start out. I grew up in the woods in Pennsylvania, and I really liked that aspect of growing up in the woods. I had a lot of benefits to that. So I did attend a preschool that was at like a private Christian school. So from kindergarten to second grade, I was in the public school system. Brief, very vague memories of kindergarten, just other knowing that it was cool. I had a cool teacher. First grade was cool with me. And then moving into second grade, a lot of stuff was happening. I completely despised school. At that young of an age, you can't really articulate a lot of things really well, but I hated school. And it wasn't like I just was rebellious or anything. I mean, when you're in second grade, when you're that young, you're still, for the most part, a product of everything around you and your upbringing. But all I knew is I just hated school. And my mom made the decision to homeschool my brother and myself, starting in the third, which would have been the third grade for me, and fifth grade for my brother, because he's a year and 10 months older than me. So we started homeschooling, which for the first couple years went amazing. It's probably the best thing that my mom could have ever done for me at that point. So we kept it, since she was real nervous about it, and she didn't really know a whole lot about it, about anything either. So for the first couple years, it was, for at least the first 2 years anyway, we kind of kept it semi-rigid, kind of like school was. Like even for a while, we like sat at a desk because we expected it to be school. Like we did it in our like a little spare room, and that didn't last very long. But we kept it rigid, but I was just able to learn without having a whole lot of like the pressure of the school system and all the complications with that. So for like third, fourth, and fifth grade, it was a really great thing. I got to learn through, outdoor stuff and just studying, like animals and birds and going fishing. And I've always been really good with math. So we could tailor the curriculum toward doing education through, what was interesting to me and my brother. So when I was younger, it was a really good thing. As I got older and into my teen years, let's just say I had a very strong personality. And since my dad is more passive and was more outspoken, that's like when you're young, like I had a way of getting what I want. So I kind of went through this rebellion thing. It's like, I don't want to call it rebellion because it's natural for kids to ask questions. It's like when it comes to certain things in life, I was always like, well, tell me when I'm going to need this in real life. I was the stir up the pot kind of kid that never just accepted anything as it was. And I drove my my mom nuts in a lot of ways, but it was kind of uncharted territory. So by the time I was in my late let's say by the time I was in like 8th grade ish, the structure had completely fallen apart. And especially from like 9th grade until graduation, I want to say I did not receive a formal education. I just basically had a good, kind of background. How do I want to explain it? I had a good background, in basic education, like reading, writing, arithmetic from my early years in school and from my solid early years of homeschooling. And then when I got about into the 8th and 9th grade, especially 9th grade, I really just kind of used my assertiveness to rebel against it and like pretty much get out of doing almost anything concretely, to the point where that I almost wasn't homeschooled at all, apart from just the basic requirements that made it legal necessities. And even those were kind of vague and kind of fudged in the end. It's not to say that I didn't learn. It just wasn't conventional at that point. And it's hard to explain that I don't regret any of that, because through the whole experience of all of everything that I went through, what I had more so was a freedom of mind and of my own creativity, and that I wasn't morphed into a school system, which wasn't as bad as it is today. It's the propaganda's gotten so bad in a lot of instances in public school. So just the freedom of mind that I was able to have as a kid is priceless to me. So a lot of people think, well, basically I was basically not educated past the 8th grade, and who I am today, how is that possible? Well, it's because I believe that in most instances, the public education system is extremely flawed. There's a lot of wasted time, tons of wasted time. You got the to and the from, the in between. There's a lot that goes on that's unnecessary. Just a lot of different things. I'm not going to pick it apart. But I was entrepreneurial. I got it. I had a paper route. I got my first day job when I was 18, working at a Dollar General. Did that, worked at that job really hard, started working for myself on the side after about the first year. Deliberately, even though my dad told me he would send me to college, I knew financially it would be a strain on him. I knew enough about finances to know that my dad didn't have that kind of money just to blow. So I basically said, I don't want to go to college, and I think it would be really stupid of you to try and send me to college to go into debt in order to make money. I said it made no sense. So even as a late teenager, I had this deep concept of understanding economics and business in ways that most young people get trapped into. So I basically told my dad, I said, if you really want to do something for me, and kind of is a long thing, I'm not going to get into all the personal stuff, but kind of make up for some of the flaws in the past and stuff. Like, he wanted to make sure it was solid. He wanted to make sure that it was really nice gesture of him. He wanted to make sure that I had a future path in life. And he really, as far as me and my brother, he did want to see us succeed. So he was like, you know what, I'll pay for you to go to college. And I said, no. I said, if you really want to give me a little boost up, I said, just, lend me a little bit of money that I'll infuse into the business, and, just give me a little bit of a leg up of all the good stuff I already have going on. And that was pretty much that. I just said, no, I don't want to go to college. And I didn't go to college, and I just entered the world. I saw at a young age the the vast opportunity of the internet and why would anybody who wanted, if your goal was to maximize profit, why would you not utilize the internet into this this international commerce that's right here at everybody's fingertips, but yet still everybody goes out to brick and mortar places. And I learned how to utilize the internet for profit at a very young age. My marketing skills in certain areas have exceeded people that had been in the business for a long time. And I could compete in like collectibles markets like coins through my creativity. When I was 19 years old, I came up with business plans that were really successful. So a lot of my education is hands-on, trial and error. And kind of back to the educational story is that I do have a GED. I do have a general education diploma. But it's interesting how it worked. And you can say it happened. You could say there was reasons why it happened that maybe shouldn't have. But in Pennsylvania, like you just have to, your evaluators, what they're called, they have the final say-so of whether you pass a grade or whether you get your general education diploma. So I got hooked up with someone in Pennsylvania who was willing to just do a phone interview with me in my senior year, and just spent like, I don't know, like 45 minutes with me on the phone. I guess she was trying to establish of whether I actually learned or not. So I was really nervous, not having really rebelled for like the last 3 years of my schooling. I was just real shy, nervous type of person. So she spent like half an hour with me on the phone, just asking some random questions. And I think she saw that from my responses. It's like she asked a question like, "Did you learn?" And I did. I answered the question. I can remember this. I said, I did think I learned, and I told her why. And I probably went into some philosophical reason about how learning isn't just about textbooks or something. And I just probably went into some funny little thing about how I felt that I did learn through my experiences and different things and stuff like that. And at the end of it, she just decided to issue me my general education diploma. It doesn't mean nothing to me, and I don't mean that to shock anybody. It means absolutely nothing to me. It's just a plaque that I'll never use in my life, and it doesn't represent anything in my life. It's meaningless to me. That's just, it is what it is. I still have it, and I was thinking about doing a video about that. But there, you got a little crash course on my education. Whew, I need to stretch for a second. Let me see if I missed anything. I haven't looked at the chat while I went on that rampage. Okay. Oh, I get to stretch for a second. I was thinking about putting a sign on the back of my chair, like if I have to leave for a second during a live stream, it says like BRB had to pee, something like that. Oh, I'm good right now, though. Stretch. All right. We're not going to go a whole lot longer here. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Okay. BJ Spurgeon once said, JD, you said you still have all your coins. Almost all of them. I used some of them to spend on the Dig or Die series. I sold a couple random ones just kind of on eBay when I was starting that other series. But I have almost 99+% of the coins I've ever found. I have. I've got like 35,000-ish clad coins. I'm going to probably do a video on at some point. Most of them have never been cleaned. I've just got this mountain, like random 5-gallon jugs full of coins. Yes, about 35,000 clad coins. I'm not making that up. I have them all. They've taken 6 years to dig up. That includes my silver and everything. The 35,000-ish and covers all the coins I've ever dug. It's somewhere around there. I stopped keeping count around 31,000, 30,000. I don't keep stats no more. It's just, I just don't do it. Too much work. Sheila said, do you stretch before you play basketball? Yes. And if I don't, I regret it. Yeah. You always got to stretch. Richard Lamphere said, "Nice to see you live, JD. Good luck and have a nice day." Same to you, buddy. Thank you very much. We got Adventures in Dirt in the house. How's it going? Let's see. What's your dream car? I've never really been into high-end vehicles. I'm just not that type of guy. I wouldn't say it, not meaning I wouldn't like to have one. But it probably wouldn't be a real fancy type of car because it would want to be something that I could utilize like as like an SUV for like better expeditions. So I don't know if I had a dream vehicle, it'd probably some kind of high end, completely decked out and teched out Humvee or something like that. Just something that would be able to do absolutely everything and have all the bells and whistles, all the upgrades. So if I was just going to blow money on a vehicle and like tons of money, like had tons of money to burn, which I probably still wouldn't do because I'm business minded, but like if there was a way I could, I don't know, that would be the one. I'd get like a decked out Hummer, something like that. But vehicles depreciate in value like dramatically, so I'm not like I'm not thrilled about dumping money into depreciating assets. Sheila said, so have over $35,000 in clad. No, I mean, if you look at it, a lot of it's pennies. I mean, in the United States, I mean, we dig a lot of pennies, dimes, quarters, nickels. I mean, it really doesn't add up to as much as you would think, especially because a lot of that is pennies. If I lived in Australia, I would be on cloud nine because they have $1 and $2 coins that they call goldies. And I've seen people that in really, really good areas dig up over $200 worth of clad in a day. I would absolutely love to do that. But here in the US, we got poor man's coins. So yeah, I don't make a whole lot of money from clad. And the money I do make from clad, I pay for in aging muscles and tendons. Let's see. All right. So for everybody coming in, we got 86 people in here. I'll run through it real quick. Part of the announcements were as I created an email address, JD's Variety Channel, JDS plural, JD's Variety Channel at gmail.com. You can contact me about inviting me, any business inquiries, anything other than please keep it, if possible, not to questions. I'm trying not to use that email for questions, but if you want to invite me somewhere, have a business inquiry or a collaboration inquiry, anything like that, you can use that email address. I'm going to try to get to as much of it as I can. I just opened a PO box. It should be in the description below. You can send it. You can just put JDVC and PO Box 3252, Blountville, Tennessee 37617. That will be down in the description. Also, I'm still doing, if you super chat $5 or more, or send something to the PO box, if you want to avoid the YouTube getting a 30% of a cut, you can send whatever you want to me to that PO box. And I'm still doing the super chat, or if you mail, something, I'm putting the sticky notes up of your YouTube channel for $5 or more. I'm doing it live. So, or if you sent something in the mail, I'd obviously do it on a future episode. So we got that going on. That's about it as far as the live stream updates. Other than that, I don't have anything planned. I'm just looking at the chat and rambling randomly or picking up a question and sometimes going 10 minutes on it. Kind of an anything goes live stream. I like your hair, RC boy. You keep commenting that. I must have seen that 5 times now. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like my lack of hair. That would be more correct. My lack of hair. Let's see. You seem to have a strong interest in architecture and history. Yes. Architecture is, there's a fascination there with it for me. And I love to see like the different progression, and you just get fine tuned into it after you do it for so long. But a lot of people are like, that aren't really into metal detecting are confused at how I can drive past a house and tell the difference of like the brick from the 1950s and the 1960s and the 70s. And you can see the progression in architecture and technology. And I think it's a really fascinating thing. And just like a lot of things in our corporatized world, you can see gradually how quality has gone down the tubes and how some of these old brick houses were like fortresses. Some of these old brick houses that I've seen are 3 layers thick. It's insane. Like they could last this through the Civil War. I mean, it's crazy when you see these old brick houses that are 3 layers of brick thick. I mean, 2 was common back then. 2 layers of brick was common. Some of these old brick houses from the 1800s have 3 layers of brick, and this isn't the brick with the, you know, the holes drilled through it to make them lighter. These are the solid bricks. And you know, from the colonial times up until the Civil War period, and then going in the Victorian era, which is a time when a lot of wealth started getting into the Western world, and you saw the amazing architecture and detailing that they did in the Victorian era, and then how that phased into the Depression, and then World War II, and then post-World War II, when you actually saw a globalist and really a communist mentality start to take over architecture in certain parts of the world, which is where certain apartment styles actually came from a globalist mentality. So I like to look at all of this different stuff, and you can see the different changes in architecture and how it conforms to like different times, different levels of wealth, different ideologies. It's just extremely fascinating to me. And architecture is one of my favorite things, which is why I like looking around old houses, because while metal detecting, I can just look at the houses the whole time. So I love that. Cheryl Ephesus, $4.99 super chat. Love your channel. iPhone will only allow 99-cent increments. That's okay. $4.99 is the same as 5 for me. Fine. Did you not? I thought you might have did a donation last time. Maybe not. I'm gonna get up and check because I can't read them from here. Because if not, I gotta get you a sticky note up there. Yeah, I don't see you up there, so I hope I didn't miss you if you did last time, but I'll definitely. What color are we on? We went from orange to now we're on purple. We're back to purple. We started the day on purple, and it looks like we may end the day on purple. So you're going to go on the wall right now. Appreciate it, Cheryl. I know you've been commenting on a lot of my videos, so I really appreciate you watching. Let's see it. Cheryl. EFFICACE. All right. There you go. There's your sticky note, and you're going up on the wall. There you have it. Okay, I'm getting hungry. I got to go here soon. I didn't eat a whole lot today. Unless you guys don't mind if I munch on a Cliff Bar. I got some of them downstairs while I'm doing the live stream, but I don't want to go on like this live stream. Hey, how's everybody doing? Eating. I don't know. Probably not the best idea for a live stream. What the heck? My channel's a hot mess anyway with all the stuff I post on. Probably wouldn't make any difference. Probably ain't going to lose or gain any subscribers from it. Okay. Wash PA Digger said foundation of a structure tells the tale. Absolutely. And a lot of times, especially on the remodeled houses, you can't tell much from the foundation up, but you focus on that foundation and you can learn a lot fast. I'll have to show you guys the foundation on the farmhouse someday. I probably briefly showed it in some of the videos, but it's really cool because it is the original 1886 stone foundation. It's really neat and in surprisingly good shape for being from 1886 and has been maintained fairly well over the years. So I'd love to show you guys that. But yeah, the foundations really do tell a story. Marcy Boy said, what's the deepest you have digged? It's the deepest hole I ever dug. Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I have in some areas tried to figure out what really big targets are, like obviously not in people's lawns, but I have dug holes that are almost 2 feet deep, trying to see what targets are to see whether it was big iron or cans or stuff like that. But since I'm metal detecting and not, I generally don't do a ton of bottle digs and stuff. The deepest hole I probably ever dug was probably about 2 foot deep. But who knows if I start to do more relic type stuff in the future, I may dig out trash pits and privies. Who knows? I may get some trenches going. That would be fun. Dig up some bottles and whatever I can find. Pottery. Okay, let's scroll down here a little bit. I got behind here in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Sheila said, I don't mind if you heat. I appreciate that. But I think it's about time to get off here soon anyway. I kind of jokingly on the last um, live stream, I didn't want to log off while somebody still had their donation bar at the top because it highlights your comment and it promotes your comment. So some people on larger YouTube channels, they'll actually do super chats, not necessarily to support the creator, but to like it's like a little advertisement slot. So I didn't want to click out of the live stream while somebody still had a super chat that was pinned to the top because I thought that would just not be very nice, even though the people that have super chatted for me, from what I can tell, they weren't, my subscribers, my type of subscribers, they weren't really advertising. They were just saying, thank you for the videos and stuff. So I didn't think it would be an issue, but I thought it was just kind of customary and polite not to end a live stream while you had a super chat going across the top. So I jokingly said that I won't leave as long as I have a super chat off the top. So Jenny, you have to tell me how to pronounce your name, if it's Jenny or Jeannie, did a $25 super chat, which sticks to the top for a long time. So I joked around saying that I was like hostage. And then she made another $25 super chat like after that one almost ran out. So it was almost like I was kept hostage on my own live stream. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I don't plan on leaving while there's a super chat at the top unless the channel would get so big that like people are making them all the time. But we're light years away from that, so we ain't gonna worry about that. It's just really good to talk to everybody here. Big Spurgeon one, JD, you make us feel good about ourselves. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I try my best to make everyone's lives better if I can. Whether sometimes that means telling the truth whether I want to or not, or whether it means just enjoying hobbies and telling people to have a good day and having a good attitude, just however it comes. That's how I've tried to keep the channel. And if it makes people's lives better, then I that's what I hope it's doing. I wanted, I believe there's a path forward in life where you can do something that is productive and positive at the same time. And I just see so many people in our world get suckered into things that they're not passionate about because they have to make money. And I'm not downing it. I know that some people are in situations where they have to do something to support their family or themselves, and I'm not downing that. But I've had such a drive to try to push into something in life where I can be productive, positive, and make and be influential in a positive way in people's lives. And it's taken a lot of brainstorming and a lot of trial and error, but I seem to be at least in a little bit of a groove now. And I just do the best I can, and whatever the best I can do is, that's what you're gonna get. I'm not perfect, but I do try my best to keep the channel uplifting, but honest at the same time. Not uplifting to the point of where I'm lying to people about being happy or lying to people about everything's gonna be okay. It's like, be uplifting, but be truthful at the same time, because I believe that the truth is ultimately what sets you free. Let's see. right. Try to grab some more comments here. Sorry, I'm a little slow with this. Sheila just sent a $10 super chat and said, "Don't leave yet." Well, Sheila, your timing was pretty good on that, because I was just thinking about, we're getting toward the end here. I ain't gonna make 4 hours on this one. I'm getting a little mentally fatigued and a little sweaty from sitting here in this chair, and I'm getting a little hungry, and I think I want to do a better meal other than snacking. So I'll be at least here till your $10 super chat runs out. So thank you very much, Sheila. I already know you're up on the board, so we're not doing the double stickies yet, but we may have to, because it's going to get to a point where it's too confusing of trying to who remember is all up there. So I may have to go back through my super chat history and just do a sticky for everybody every time somebody does a super chat. We may have to do that, but I'll find something else cool and fun to do other than just the sticky notes. I think it's given me something to do too. It's interactive and keeping me engaged. So I kind of like it. But thanks again, Sheila. Appreciate that. I know you're already up there, and you won the auction, and I saw you already paid for it. You won the auction on that $50,000 Zimbabwe banknote with the 007 serial number that was a shifted border. You won that for like $5 and $3.99 shipping. Not a lot of people bid on that. I didn't ship it yet, but probably tomorrow I'll get that shipped out to you. So I appreciate you bidding on that too. I know it was you that won that, because you had bought a couple other things and you were the high bidder on that one. So appreciate it. Let's see. David Alegria, I hope I said that right. JD, will you return to the beaches to metal detect soon? It's exciting to see what you dig up there. What videos are you referring to? Because I haven't done much beach detecting, unless you're talking about one of the collaborations I did. We're promoting some of Michael Oliver's videos. I did do some lake beach detecting, a lot of it toward the end of last year, and I did find some interesting stuff. But I am planning on doing some more lake beach detecting soon. So yeah, right on par with what you're asking me to. There is going to be some beach hunts coming up here. I got some cool spots that I want to try it at. And I don't know if I'm just going to be generally in sandy areas or if I'm going to be able to find stuff underwater too. I got to do some scouting. So yeah, definitely got some of that coming, and probably soon too. Gamoto Bona, sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, said, what is the most valuable coin you've ever found? Believe it or not, I found a 1921 Standing Liberty quarter worth about $140, and that was actually worth more than the gold coin I found, which was worth about $90. My 2 pesos Mexico gold coin had a gold value of about $90. Didn't really have any collector's value over spot price. I mean, a little bit, a small premium as a gold coin in good condition, but say $100 tops. Whereas the 1921 silver quarter I found, which was fairly worn, but it was so rare that it was still worth about $140. If it had a lot of detail on it, it could have easily spiked to $700, but it was in somebody's pocket a little bit too long. So we just didn't get, I didn't sell it, but it's, wouldn't realize $700 because it's too worn. Let's see. I have a detector, never used it. Looks too simple to be of any real use. What model do you suggest to start with? I mean, you can start with anything. Sometimes the super cheap metal detectors will be really bad at discriminating iron out, so they can frustrate you. My personal favorite budget model, if you want to go on the very low end to start, but you don't want junk, is to get a low end Fisher. I mentioned this in the last live stream. Like a Fisher F4 or a Fisher F22 or a Fisher F44. That one's a little bit more pricey. I like them. They're easy to use beginner machines. They give very specific sounds. They're lightweight, easy to swing. And the new models, the Fisher F22 and 44, are weatherproof, so you can hunt with them in the rain, not worry about getting them wet. So you can do pretty much everything but dunk the control box underwater on them. And they're priced very reasonably, and they're extremely easy to learn, and they discriminate iron out well. So for your first detector, I tell people, if you can, this isn't a golden rule, but if you can, try to stay around that $200 range for your first detector. But I know from personal experience, the budget fishers are good machines. They also have a 5-year warranty on them. And I'm not getting paid to say any of this. It's just my honest opinion. I don't have any ongoing sponsorship with Fisher right now, or Technetics, which are the same company. So I like the budget Fisher so much, I still use an F44 for scouting and metal detecting playgrounds and stuff like that. So they're good enough. If they're good enough for me to use, I mean, they're great beginner machines. You can find stuff with them, no doubt. But the low-end Fishers, I think they're right around that $200 mark. If you go cheaper than that, you're going to risk getting a piece of junk. Not saying there isn't anything in the $100 to $150 range that isn't a good metal detector. I just don't have a lot of experience with them, and I can't comment on them. But I do know for a fact that once you start getting under that $200 range, there's a lot of, let's say, lemons out there that you want to avoid. So if you don't know enough about a detector, probably don't buy it until you know more about it. Let's see. Stacy's amazing said, you are still live. Yes, I'm still live. I am the marathon man. When I do something, I go full force. There's no 10-minute live streams coming from this guy. No, no, no. Unless I did some kind of important update or something. But no, when I'm going to tune in for a live stream, I'm going to get on that brain wavelength, and we're going to hunker in to the point where my back and my chair is so sweaty here, it's going to be nasty. I'm going to have to figure out something to do in the future. I want to do live streams while I'm standing up so I can just kind of stay. So just sitting down for long periods of time all day is just not good for you. So I got to figure out how to do a live stream standing up. When am I planning the next chat? I kind of addressed that in the last one. It's tricky because I'm self-employed and I travel a lot when I can for the channel. So everything that has to do with YouTube and traveling is like so spontaneous with me. What would probably happen is if I do a live stream schedule, I probably would end up breaking it. So it's probably best for now that I don't do a schedule at all and I just get on here when I can. I don't know how often. I'm planning on at least doing twice a month, but as you can see, this is only like 5 days after the last stream. So sometimes I may do them more frequently than not. So if I have a specific set schedule or know in advance I'm going to do one like a day or two before, I will try to let everybody know in a video if it's not already created or whether it's through Facebook or something, which I don't use a whole lot. But I am going to start trying to post when I'm going to do a live stream on Facebook before I do. I'll have to get the links to that from my Facebook because I have a couple different pages there. Somebody said, can we see your gun collection? I'll probably do that soon. I haven't found any real guns metal detecting, but I got my cap gun collection is growing pretty large. So I do want to do a video on my metal detected cap gun collection into the future. I've actually been planning that. Do I shave my shoulders? No, I don't shave my shoulders. Very funny. Ha, ha, ha. Let's see. YouTube not always give us notifications. That's just how it is. That's deliberate. I actually went into that on the last stream too a little bit. Sometimes they send your video out to certain subscribers to see how it performs, and then they send it out to more. If you have it set on always to receive notifications, I believe you should be notified every time. But the default on YouTube now, when you set your notifications, is to sometimes receive updates. Literally, sometimes. That's what it says. So you have to make sure your settings isn't on sometimes for the notifications, because that's the default now. So click on your notifications and make sure it doesn't say sometimes. That's the only advice I can give. Apart from that, I don't know what to say if it doesn't work properly. Where am I from? I live in Tennessee now. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half east of Pittsburgh, one of the industrial capitals of the past world. Yeah, still are, I guess, in some ways, but it was the powerhouse of the industrial revolution. A lot of Western Pennsylvania was. Let's see. All right. I'm kind of getting fatigued here. I can see a lot of good questions, but I'm just not going to be able to get to them all right now. So we're 2.5 hours in. I got some stuff to do. I'm getting pretty hungry. So unless somebody sends a super chat in the last minute here, I'm going to wind it down. So just to finalize for anybody that came in, I opened a PO box that's in the description below. If you miss it before I close out the live stream, this video will take a while to process, but it will post to my channel. I'm going to try to put the PO box in the description of my future videos now so everyone can see it. I opened the email address jdsvarietychannel@gmail.com so people can send me invites, business inquiries, collaboration requests, and things of that nature. I don't need to go over the super chat thing again because I'm getting off. I got a lot of cool videos coming. The channel is looking good. I appreciate absolutely everyone for watching the videos and for your support of the channel. Your view says a lot, and whether you watch the videos or not, I appreciate the time that you've spent on the channel. You're welcome back anytime. And with that, I will leave everybody out. I hope you have a good day, and I do have some cool videos coming, so stay tuned. Take care, everyone.